Do you regret not having kids? 33F here. I am very content with not having kids. I play too many video games, read books, go the theme parks, get in lots of naps, enjoy time with my dog, and I like my life the way it is. No, I was warned not to mate with the locals when I came to this planet. No, I just never had the parenting urge. The joy in holding their baby that I see in others just didn't click for me. 50. Married over 20 years. No regrets. I had someone tell me my biological clock would start ticking when I hit 30. I was 40 when they told me that. I am quite satisfied with my choice to not have 3 kids and no money, and to instead have no kids and 3 money. One thing I've told all my friends without kids: I have a 2-year-old and one on the way. If you think you don't want a kid, do not have one. You should probably only have one if you really want one. Checks bank account and looks at schedule to see vast amount of free time. Nah. I would have liked to be a stepdad, but wouldn't ever want to risk some poor kid looking like me. I always thought I would eventually feel the urge to have kids. That urge never happened. Some people are just born to raise a family. Babies creep me out. The urge for independence and no one relying on me 24/7 were constant. I have 6 nieces, nephews, and now I have 3 grandnieces. So I don't ever feel like I missed out on anything. I can afford the occasional expensive vacation. I'm in a satisfying long-term relationship. I've got lots of friends who don't have kids. I've got pets, plants, and hobbies. So I do enough nurturing. Nothing is lacking from my life. Absolutely not. Life is already stressful. I don't need to play it on hard mode. Absolutely not. I'm struggling enough on my own as is. Big time. Lost my uterus to cancer last year. Came out of absolute nowhere. Now I wish every day that I'd had one when I had the chance. No periods is nice though. 45 today is actually my birthday. I don't feel any need for kids. And if I want kids later, I can always adopt. Edit. Thanks for the birthday wishes all. My wife has lupus and would be risking her life if she got pregnant. And we're not interested in adoption or surrogacy. So no, we regret nothing. One of my coworkers have 7 daughters. One of which is just about to turn 1 year old. And I see the day-to-day, full-time job it is. And I got an even closer look when my former roomies had their first daughter. And the toll newborns take on parents. When their daughter got older, I babysat for them multiple times and was able to surprise even myself with my ability to change diapers, make food, play, and engage with her. Facets I never even knew I was capable of. But again, I saw firsthand the challenges of parenting. I'm perfectly content to never have kids. No, I wanted to break the cycle of abuse. I regret they had me. Nope. I do regret other people having kids though. No. I am so glad I didn't have kids. And I was someone who definitely wanted kids. I have been married for a long time. I have the perfect setup to have kids. The past 3 years has shown me that I made the correct choice in not having kids. I get to travel and enjoy life. My husband and I are happy. All of my friends with kids got majorly fucked over during the pandemic, especially my friends who are moms. I wouldn't have dealt with it well. I also believe global warming is going to greatly change all of our lives. I don't want my kids to have to go through that. No. Every young parent I know has years' worth of sleep deprivation. Having kids sounds like an exhausting hellscape to me because when I'm tired, I'm miserable. As it is, I wake up less than an hour before work. I sleep in on weekends. My spare time goes to my hobbies and chores. But even then, I wish I had more time to get things done. I already feel like I don't have enough time. If I had a kid, my life would be in shambles. I regret having kids. Not one single bit. In fact, my biggest fear is having to inherit someone else's kids. 31F. Never wanted M. No regrets. Absolutely no biological urge. Sipping a margarita and smoking a joint in a bubble bath at 9 p.m. instead of reading Go Dog Go for the 8,373rd time and browsing flights to Mexico. Perfection. I've met way more people that actually regret having kids than not. No. 45F. Never had the internal need or desire to have one. I actually find pregnancy and birth to be terrifying and surreal. Not knocking anyone who feels that it's beautiful or whatnot, it's just how I've always been. I do have stepchildren, though. They are a riot. No regrets. Tattooed in my back in big letters. The people I know that are over 50 without kids are living their best life. I'm super stoked we have a daughter, but that's because I really like her as well as love might have a kid you gel with. You might have a total nightmare. It's a crapshoot. Looking back, you never know what you might have missed, good or bad. Not at all. The older I get, the more I am certain that it was the right decision. Though it wasn't really a decision. I never was on the fence regarding children, it was always a clear absolutely not. Partly. I'm 35. 6 years ago I got the amazing opportunity to care for my niece before she passed away in a house fire. Ever since then I've contemplated wanting a child. But I'm single my whole life. Do I regret not having kids? Not really. But man, I went from not caring much about my nieces and nephews to trying to be the best uncle I can for them. I actually feel affirmation that I made the right choice often. Nope. I plan on getting a hysterectomy. Mid-30s and nearly homeless once again. I don't see how this would be a better situation with an additional burden. No, of my regrets not having children isn't one of them. I'm content to find purpose in other family and friends, my hobbies, pets, etc. This has been an interesting thread for me. 31F, constantly swinging back and forth if I want kids or not. I do regret it, and then I remember I did have a kid. He just never calls. Having a cat is more than enough. Nope, I love my life and all my money and free time and peace and quiet. Only for one very selfish reason: I'm 45F and a full-time caregiver for my disabled brother who was injured in a car wreck over 5 years ago, and it sure would be nice to have someone else here to help Sue. God, no. Best decision we ever made. A golden retriever and 2 cats is plenty. More than plenty. Not at all. I'm in my early 30s and kids never appealed to me. I often say not having kids is the best decision I've ever made. No, I'm 13. Not in the least. 52 years, never felt any urge, never had any regrets. Absolutely not. The only time I felt regret from not having kids was when my mom was actively dying. But at the same time, I was grateful I didn't have kids because I could focus all my time to my mom and I didn't have anyone to explain or make up to. 2 years later, I still don't regret having kids even though I still have my dad. I have a lovely tortie that I love as much as I would a child, and I know if he had to, my dad would lay down his life for my cat. I love my dad and he loves me and my child smiling cat with heart eyes. Not even for a second. Hell, I regret being born myself more often than I want to admit. The world hasn't been a nice place. I can't bring a child into it and say it's only going to get worse. Good luck. I'll stick to having a dog or a cat. Nope. Not having kids is awesome.